What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here in another early round decision series. Today I'm talking Sam LaPorta versus Travis Kelce. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I have a ton of these early round decision series on the channel. We just did Garrett Wilson versus Puka Nakua, Jonathan Taylor versus Saquon Barkley Saquon Barkley already out. A bunch of other ones. Kyron versus ETN, more than I can even remember. Devontae versus Marvin Harrison. More tight end ones. We got McBride versus Andrews. Check them all out in the channel. We've got values already out on the channel, as well as sleepers and league winners are coming soon. A ton of regular season content as well to help you get that edge on your friends and family in fantasy football. If you want to win a championship this season, hit that subscribe button. It's just that simple. But let's get into it. If you don't want to win that championship, don't hit that subscribe button. Okay, so, Sam LaPorta last year finished as a tight end one as a rookie. We see the stats: 120 targets, 86 receptions, good for 10 touchdowns. Really impressive work, 889 yards. Tight end one as a rookie. He scored a lot of touchdowns. That's the one thing I'll point out. Relative to his usage, the touchdowns were higher than his utilization would project moving forward. That's a sign of A, how good he is, and B, probably that he got a little lucky. I expect the touchdowns to go down relative to the usage, but I expect his usage to go up. So, because of how well LaPorta played as a rookie, I think they're going to use him more moving forward. I think he's going to be even more of the offensive game plans, things of that nature, a focal point, if you will, of the entire offense. Especially this year, the wide receiver 2 for their team is pretty weak. Jamison Williams, they are hoping, can take that next leap, but they've hoped that for several years and it hasn't happened. So, right now, the number 2 option in the receiving game to me is Sam LaPorta after Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's exactly what you want, is to be the number 1 or number 2 in an offense when you're drafting these elite fantasy tight ends. The nice part about LaPorta having such an elite rookie season for tight ends usually aren't even good as a rookie either, but he was obviously the tight end 1, as good as you can get. He's likely still ascending. He's likely getting better still. We talk about receivers taking that year 2 leap. Tight ends, it's usually year 3, but when you shine as bright as LaPorta did, there could be even brighter things to come. So I have Sam LaPorta projected for 88 receptions, 972 yards, and 8 touchdowns. I think he can crack that 1,000-yard mark this year or get very close to it. I don't know if he'll have 10 touchdowns again, but I'll say if he catches over 90 receptions or close to it like I projected, he'll have a decent chance at 10 touchdowns again. So don't worry about drafting Sam LaPorta early in your drafts. But let's discuss the opportunity cost, because Travis Kelce is going a similar place in drafts. These guys are both third round picks usually. So last year, Kelce was tied for the number 1 in tight end in points per game. He missed 2 games last year, so that's why LaPorta was number 1 overall, but they averaged the same points per game. And a lot of people think Kelce is done, that Kelce has lost it. But if you look at these stats from last year, 121 targets, 93 receptions, 984 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Not bad by any means. And he was third amongst tight ends in yards per route run. The big thing I'll point out for Kelce is this glaring number right here, 5 receiving touchdowns. I think that number is going to be dramatically higher this year. He's one of the guys that we can project for double-digit touchdowns to me, because you look at the recent years, 12, 9, 11 touchdowns. He scored a lot. Patrick Mahomes throws a lot, and I expect him to have a lot more touchdowns than he had this last year. I think that Kelce is still the number 1 on this offense when things, it's a critical third down when they're in the red zone. I think he's still going to be that read. You don't need the 152 target volume, because look at 2 years ago, he had 134. That's right where I projected him to be around this next year. And he was the tight end 1 in fantasy football. He was dynamic just because he was able to get the touchdowns to go. I think he's going to catch around 100 balls this year, have 1,100 yards, and have 9 touchdowns. Rashee Rice is probably the number 2 option in Kansas City. He could get suspended. We don't know what's going to happen with that. The other options, Hollywood Brown, he is injured already. He'll come back at some point, but missing a lot of important time to bond and create that chemistry with Patrick Mahomes that Kelce has, cultivated over years. And then we look at Xavier Worthy. Again, he could be good. He's a rookie. All these guys have question marks of some degree. Kelce doesn't have any question marks. He's the number 1 for Patrick Mahomes. he has a great chance of catching 10 touchdowns. Both these tight ends do, but if I was going to bet on one to have double-digit touchdowns, it would be Travis Kelce, and he's the one I would be taking in drafts, especially because you get him a little bit later than you get LaPorta typically. But even if neither tight end has been drafted yet, I would take Kelce first off the board personally. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I will respond as always. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said, please hit that subscribe button. Stick around for the season. You guys are going to want to. We're going to have a ton of fun, win a ton of championships. And like I said, you guys are going to win fantasy football games. So stick around. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.